Like always, I'm just going to wait for a couple of minutes to allow as many people as they can join. Hi again. Um, Hello, Shweta. Okay, welcome everyone who have joined. My name is Amogh, and today this is our second live for the fourth season of our interesting show, PhD, the philosophical drama. Uh, Today we have our very first guest from Turkey. We've never had a guest from Turkey. Her name is Selmihan. She is a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Geneva in Switzerland, and she's a Marie Curie fellow right now. She's done a PhD in Turkey, and she has loads of experience of working in different labs around the world. And I'm very sure we'll have an interesting session today. And let's see what she has to share from her journey of her uh, academic experience that she's had so far. So let me just add her to the call. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sid.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
So yeah, I was just telling our viewers that you are the very first guest that we have had on the show from Turkey,
Yeah.
and that's why even my curiosity is right up there to know how is the academic culture back in Turkey, because we have had guests who have shared their journeys from India, from Europe, from USA. Uh, but I think there are some similarities and some differences across all academic cultures. So let me straightly dive into your PhD journey and start right from there, where how you did your bachelor's and your master's, and what really inspired you to take a PhD as a final goal.
Yeah. Yeah, in Turkey, it's similar with Europe, but some specific things are different. And when I finished my bachelor, I was looking for what I need to do. What I like, I don't know where should I go in my next level. And I finished biochemistry. My background is biochemistry, and there were two options in my front. The one is I can be a scientist, and other I can find a job in industry, and I can work in the industry, and I do in the laboratory. Then there was at the end of the bachelor, I was looking for it, and then I become a program called as ÖYP. It's a specific program, and it was kind of new in Turkey. They propose you start a master and PhD in a university, different parts of the Turkey, and you can get the PhD, and at the same time you can work as a research assistant in the university in the different departments, and you get the salary. Actually, it is interesting, and it was good option for me. and I decided to apply for this program. For the application, you need to get different exams, and they check also your grades from your bachelor, and the average of these exams and grades, they took it, and you applied this program. And there were actually, it was interesting when I applied. There were 8 contingent. It's the highest level so far, and I was lucky at that time, and I find the different positions, and I apply for them. Like I order first according to my preferences. I apply one of them, then I have chosen because I have the first rank from my bachelor. I have the high grade, and I had chosen. It was I was really happy because then I don't need to think about like when I do the master and PhD, I don't need to think about the how I get the money because for my life I need money.
Yeah, but how much of it was a conscious decision? Did you know what PhD is, or how the journey of PhD unfolds? Do you have any idea before you joined?
No, honestly I don't have any idea. Just as I said, I just checked what is the certainty in my future, and if I go to industry, I don't know, I can lose my job, and also I cannot work like really biochemistry if I go to industry, because at that time it was not really a common thing, or there is no common biochemistry in the industry. But as a chemist, you can find, like, you can go to the production of the detergent or soap. This kind of stuff is, it's general. But for biochemistry, it was unknown, and it's really hard to find a really biochemistry job. Then I think to become a scientist and work in the university as a biochemist is more certain. And I will continue as a biochemist. I don't want to change my my
You need to
section.
change the domain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is very interesting because, coming from India, I think most of my fellow Indians will agree with me that it's very, very difficult to be sure of getting an academic job back in India. So you were saying that you wanted to have certainty, and that's why you chose to get into a PhD so that you have a definite academic job,
Yeah.
which is very different from coming from India. It's very different to know. So throughout your PhD journey, I think you worked in Turkey, more or less, but you also applied for an internship, and you did go to the States, if I'm right, to Utah.
Yeah.
Take me through that phase where you're trying to do your research in your lab, but as well as trying to have that exposure from working in another lab. How did that come about?
Yeah, when I start my after my master, I start my PhD, and my PI was really open to study other the different area, and I want to work different things. After my master, I decided to work on the enzyme immobilization and the surface functionalization, and my PI was suggested me to go somewhere else and learn some stuff, and when I come back I can work the same thing in the lab, and he said me, I will support you. And after that I look for the fellowship program, because also in Turkey it's kind of strategical things. They really want to you go outside and learn the things from different laboratory and come back, not stay there, because when you take this fellowship you sign a document, I will come back and I will work in Turkey sometime. And they want to create a variety in the science in Turkey. Also they give you a chance to have a network from outside.
Yeah.
And there is one national funding agency of Turkey, we call that TÜBİTAK. And there was one fellowship program during your PhD. You can go somewhere for 1 year and you can do research and come back to Turkey again. And after first year of my PhD, I decided to apply for it because my PI also supported me to to apply for it. And and they usually give this fellowship to anyone because the only things you should get the acceptance from somewhere where you have interest. And for this, it was interesting because it's really hard to get the acceptance letter. One day I was looking for a book and in the library, online book, and I saw a book written by Suleyman. And then I have never searched about the writers or researchers. Then I don't know, I was curious and I just checked the page and I saw the Suleyman has a lot of publication in the like half of the year. There were almost 20 publication, and I saw the lab is really big and it looks nice. And the main area is the enzyme immobilization. Then I decided to send an email, and if she accepts me, and I can go there and learn about the enzyme immobilization. Then I sent an email, and in 40 minutes, she replied me, yeah, you can come. I will be really happy.
Wow. What did you exactly write in that email? I'm really curious because it's amazing. Like you get a reply in 40 minutes. It's amazing.
Actually,
did you have a,
it's not
I mean, did
special
you,
things. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, no, go ahead.
I just write. I'm doing. I have master, and I write the master title, and I have this publication, and about I sent my CV in the attachment, and I said I want to work in your laboratory if it's suitable for you. Then he just said, okay, you can come, because she's really open. The outside, she's really nice. I think, and I was lucky to find her. And after get the acceptance, I applied for the fellowship, and I got it.
But was it like your very first email that you wrote for your internship, or you had written several of emails to other faculty members as well?
No, I just I had the idea I will apply for this fellowship, and just I saw the book and about enzyme immobilization. I just wrote enzyme immobilization. I find that book, and I saw the name, and I decided to check for it, and it was really interesting. And if you go now, I'm sure you will see it's really nice publications, and you see the laboratory is really nice, and you want to join it there actually. Then I decided to write it, and I had the idea I can apply for different laboratories and to get the acceptance letter, but I don't need to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's interesting because several people really do want to do these internships in different countries and just to get exposure and experience. But there are inhibitions about writing emails, firstly, or some people just write a lot of emails, but they don't really are successful in getting a positive reply.
Yeah,
so
some of my friends
that is...
also didn't believe me. I received the email in 40 minutes, but I said I was lucky, and Shelley is really open for the other people in the lab. She always welcome for the others in her lab.
Yeah. How was that experience for you then? You were there for 6 months, I guess?
Yeah, I went there for 6 months because it was my first experience. I can take it for 1 year, but I thought maybe I can go 6 months and then you can change actually, but I didn't do it. The research things is really different from Turkey. The first thing I realized that I don't know, you feel free, really free in the laboratory, and the people are really welcome. It can change, of course, but in that laboratory, I feel really free, and I can work everything. And you don't need, like, everything served you for you do your experiment and research. You don't need to think about turn on the ice machine, turn on the computer. Everything is already settled up.
Okay.
You just go to laboratory and start the work. And the second thing, of course, is money. And when I can order anything. I never forget one time Shelly visited the lab and asked us what we are doing at that time. And I was visitor, and I was working with a PhD student. And we told her we need an instrument. It's actually expensive, not super expensive, but expensive. And she just said, "Cool, we can buy it." And we were surprised. Actually, we were shocked. And we get it in 15 days. I think it didn't take long time, and we start the work with it. Then when we order the stuff, it's like next day you get the product or chemicals. It's also helps you to work in the laboratory. This is the difference, because in Turkey it takes time to get the chemicals.
The setup, I think, is very, very different, and you had two different experiences. But I'm curious to know, like, after your internship, how much time did you spend back in Turkey in your PhD? Was it a long time or a short time?
No, 1.5 year I spent. My total PhD was 5 years. And 1.5.
So my question is, like, after you came back from US, I'm sure there must have been a change in you in terms of your view towards science, because that's why you go for an internship. You get that exposure, you get that different experience. How did that internship experience help you to get into a better phase of life in terms of doing your research and looking at science in a different way?
When actually during my internship, I get these things like at the end of the internship. Actually, I had the confidence to do the experiment and about the stuff, enzyme immobilization, and this kind of stuff. And actually, and when I see the environment in like different laboratories, always good. See the different laboratories is really good thing. You can come back and you can apply this. If there is nice thing or the better thing, you can bring with you. And I think when I come back, I directly has this kind.
And were these, because you come with a different outlook, were these very nicely welcomed back in Turkey? Or did you have to face those inhibitions from lab mates in Turkey or your PI? Or was it like, wow, we are going to get something new from Selmihan? Was it that way?
No, they think that I bring something with me and I can apply in the laboratory different things. It will.
Nice.
They were welcome. There is no. There were no different things or judgmental things. It was.
Wow. That's good to know.
Welcome.
That's good to know, because ultimately, even if you are doing your science alone, in a lab, it's basically a lab culture and lab goals that helps the lab in general to succeed. So that's good to know that your experience could be applied back in your lab in Turkey. Going further, I think I want to know about how you really transformed transitioned from being a PhD student to being an assistant professor initially. How was that?
Actually,
that
I don't know because I just got the position, and then I got this fellowship, Marie Curie fellowship. The transition things is what I don't know actually, because I didn't spend a lot of time.
What I'm trying to say is, how did you get the job in the first place? Transitioning from being a PhD student to directly being an assistant professor is a dream for many of the people who are in academia.
Yeah.
How did that get fulfilled for you?
Yeah, I told the ÖYP program, and I was research assistant in the university, and until I find the permanent position, I can be a research assistant at the university. This is actually relaxing thing for you, because you don't need to worry about your financial things. But after PhD, you get tired and you really want to have the position somewhere and become a permanent. And it's really hard in Turkey actually. And during my PhD, there was no a lot of students in chemistry departments, especially because for job things, the students really not willing to become chemistry department. And this also affects the faculties. They don't want to open the new positions for the assistant professor. And actually, I was not really, I was desperate about this thing. I thought maybe I will wait a lot of years, maybe 10 years to find a permanent position. But I was lucky. I can work as a research assistant, but sometimes you want to change your job. I don't know, you don't want to continue as a research assistant. That's why I was looking for the postdoc position. Somewhere I want to do postdoc, somewhere I can spend my time. During that time, I can go somewhere and I can see different laboratories again. It will help my academic career. Then when I was doing my internship in Utah, I met with a lab mate. I had a lab mate, and he suggested to me to apply the Marie Curie fellowship. And it's you can Turkey is associated country, is not European. I can still apply for the this fellowship if I find a host in Turkey. Then I start to search about this program. I see there are different options. It's not only Turkey or Europe. You can go other places in the world. And when I start to, I was writing the fellowship, and I was trying to apply for again in Shelley's lab and come back to Turkey. The first year I failed. I didn't get the fellowship. During my second year, again the students start to prefer to come chemistry department, and we had the student a lot of, and they start to open new positions because we had the students again. Again, I will say I am kind of lucky. I didn't wait a lot, and they open a position, and I apply for it, and I got I became an assistant professor at same university.
No, I mean, you talk about it in a very simple, and you talk yourself to be very lucky about it. But how was the process? I mean, were you interviewed and you had to do a presentation? How was the process of getting it's like a permanent position, right? It's an assistant professor position. So
yeah, actually, like the ÖYP program proposed us if you had some like publication and like other academic success, they will check. And if I have this, they proposed me when I started, you can become a assistant professor directly. I don't need to find for other positions. But as I said, there was problem in chemistry departments, especially actually science faculties. The students start not prefer to go chemistry, physics and biology. Then they changed the rule, and for us we need to wait for the position. I don't know how long time, but before me I know some people wait for 8 years or 10 years, and I say, okay, maybe I will wait same time. But I said they open the position and I apply. You apply, you just show them your CV and your papers, publication. They check for it. That's it. And if there are different application, they just check the publication, because you get point for each your academic study, and according to that you can get the position.
Wow, that's very different than what I know about the process of getting an assistant professor position in other places. But it's good to know that this is how it works in Turkey.
Like some big universities, they have different, like some part of the some place universities apply same thing as Europe, but in the other places you can find a permanent position like me. If you are research assistant in a university, they think you can continue as an assistant professor or until you become a professor in the same university if you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to come back to the part between this transitioning, where you said you applied for this prestigious fellowship called Marie Curie Fellowship.
Yeah.
Lot of researchers dream about having this fellowship, and you said you failed in your first attempt.
Yeah.
And in my view, personally, I think failures are our biggest teachers. And one can just get demoralized and say, okay, I failed, I tried hard, I wrote a big fellowship grant and I did not get it. But you decided to do another application the next year.
Yeah.
What was the change in your mindset from your first application to the second application? What changed there for you?
For the first time, I really worked a lot to understand the application procedure, because it was complex for me, because I don't know like for European, this is this fellowship supported by the European Union, and you should give some keywords, kind of. You when you write the project, they just looking for the different things, like kind of you will give something, you will do something in your project for environment, and you will contribute to some European Union aims for 2030, something like this. And it's when you write it, you should have really strategy to write the project. At first time, actually, I just I spent most of my time to understand what should I write, and for my main topic of my project, and it failed. I get the threshold point. Actually, it was not really bad, but I get some. You see the reviewer, what they comment on your project, and according to that, in the second time, because I spent a lot of time, I learned a lot of things, and I actually I join a lot of there are the kind of courses, or how to write a project, and how to think about how you should think when you apply a fellowship in Horizon Europe. And I learned a lot of stuff. Then I said, if I spent a lot of time, and I should get it, because I don't want to waste my time, because during the summertime, the application is in September, and I spent my whole summer to write this project.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to apply for second time.
Nice. So you basically you were very meticulous with your working of how that fellowship needs to be written.
Yeah,
and you did a lot of background study to actually just figure out how to write the proposal, which is
yeah,
very, very interesting and something it's inspiring because uh, one thing you want to work hard is your science, but how to present it and how to make sure that you get into a prestigious fellowship is another thing.
yeah. The
So,
ideas are good, but you should serve it in a good way to people. Then
mhm,
people can see the idea, and also the, I don't know, the writing is really important. You can have good
yeah,
idea, but if you cannot serve it real nice, you cannot get
mhm,
the fellowship, or I don't know, you cannot get the success.
yeah, yeah. So you got this fellowship, and then you decided to just you come for the fellowship, but you had a job back in Turkey.
Yeah.
What was that arrangement that you had to do to have the job there but come for this fellowship?
Mm. Uh, like they suspend. It's kind of suspended position now.
Hmm.
They give me time. I can work for this fellowship, and then I will go back. Just the condition is I will go back, and I will continue there,
Yeah.
and I need to start up a laboratory, and again, as the assistant professor, I should start the laboratory, and I should start to work, and
Mhm.
get the project
Nice.
in.
So how did it go about joining another third different place? Because you have done your work in Turkey, you went to the States, and then you now decided to come to Switzerland
Yeah.
for your Marie Curie fellowship. How
Mhm.
did that go about? That process go about?
Uh, yeah, the again, it's different, and it's nice to see the different places, because after US, I thought that maybe Europe also has the same things, but I think the Europe is similar with Turkey. The
Hmm.
conditions are not super different.
Hmm.
Again, they have some better things, and maybe when we compare, or but not, there are some things that needs to improve, but yeah, it's nice to see different places, and I can say there is no big difference in the research in Europe and Turkey. Uh,
Right.
but
And how different did you find the lab culture across these three different places? Lab culture, by lab culture, I mean the working hours and the pressure that is put on a student. How did you? What is the difference that you realized from working in these three different places?
mm, the in US, actually, I think you really want yourself. You want to study in the lab, because as I said before, everything served you to work there. Like, you want to stay in the lab. But in Europe and Turkey, I would say the people has the special, like, they have the specific time in the laboratory, and they can go back their home at some time. They don't want to stay at the lab for a long time. Um, yeah, this is the
Okay.
differences. Yeah.
So the motivation is from within in the US basically for you. And here there's motivation, but they like more of a work-life balance in Switzerland as well as in Turkey. That's what
Yeah,
your
yeah,
your
yeah,
experience
yeah,
is.
yeah. There is balance between life and the work, between them. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
yeah. I think you will finish in about 6 months with your fellowship, and you're going to go back to your job,
Yeah,
which I think you were really looking forward to as a science student when you started your bachelor's or master's maybe. Uh, this is a question a lot of people have, even I have at times, and probably even you have, and just wanted to know your take on it. Why why is the academic career so demanding? I mean, in your case, do you feel that it is very demanding? And if yes, what are your thoughts about it? Why is it so demanding?
Demanding it looks prestigious things like when you will become a professor in the next, uh, and also people really don't know I don't know how to say, but when you start without knowing anything, but after you
Mhm.
start you cannot give up it, like you cannot stop, because you work a lot and then you think it's better to go further. uh,
Right.
uh, yeah, that makes and there is a competition. I think that keeps people uh, alive during that time, and then they want to uh, see the next level. They don't want to give up at some point, and that they do this regular, like the next part, and it becomes demanding.
Yeah.
Uh,
So basically, it's you can't really give up because you've worked really, really hard for it,
yeah, I
and
think
you
you
don't want to
after spend
really.
that much time, and I think you really need to spend a lot of time. In my case, I spent a lot of time in the lab. I do research, and like I sometimes I don't want, like I didn't go to the holiday because I need to do work in the lab, and I go to the lab. I went to lab at the weekend. Then I think when you give up, you waste all the things that you don't want to do it, and
Mhm.
you continue at some point.
Yeah, and at some fundamental level, you've worked on it so hard because you really wanted to do it, right? Nobody's in a way nobody's forcing you to do it. So you really want it from within. That's why you work so hard on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You need to want, and you should have a patience. If you have patience, you continue. Maybe at the beginning, the most of the PhD students don't know what they will uh, they will see. They don't know what's the process actually.
Mhm.
They just think about at the end of the process, but during the PhD, you have really a hard time, and you give a lot of things. Then some point you don't want to give up.
Right. Right. Right. Well, wow, that's an amazing journey that we discussed. And my solid takeaways are like the first one is definitely that you can get an internship in 40 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
definitely my biggest thing. And I think it's interesting to even put that message out that it's good to have exposure from other places and then make a full view of and make a like an informed decision about what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So
Yeah.
I think in your case, in your journey, doing an internship in the States, doing a postdoc in Switzerland, and then having an academic job in Turkey, I think it kind of is a perfect dream picture in my way. I'm sure there's a lot of hard work and planning and a lot of other things, all struggles, everything you've gone through. But I think it's a wonderful journey that we discussed. So thank you for that. But as I had already told you, before we let go our guests this season, we are playing a very quick rapid liar round with them.
Okay.
So the questions will be related to academia, to PhD journey, but you cannot tell the truth. You have to lie.
Okay.
So this is like a test for how good you are at lying, and we're just gonna it's just for fun, just trying to have some humor out of it.
Okay.
So,
I will
are
try.
you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, my first question is, what is the motivation for you to do a PhD?
Um, I really want to become a professor.
Okay, so there's reality as well as
Yeah.
unreal things about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um, what are your thoughts? Why is a PhD degree the highest degree in education?
Mm, okay, I need to lie. uh, uh, because it's the uh, uh, okay, it's really hard to find a lie. I don't know. It's highest because you become older at the end, like it's maybe
You
stupid.
become older. That's a very, very,
Yeah.
people hate to spend their crucial years in PhD, and that's a direct hit at that, I guess. So interesting. It took time. It's not rapidly done, but fine. We take that.
Yeah, I think about it.
Um,
Okay.
okay. My third question is, when did you actually fall in love with your PhD journey?
At the
What was
end
the
of
time when?
my PhD.
Nice. Nice. Which was the best year of your PhD?
um, First year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, first year.
I don't know if it's a lie or it's a real thing. I don't really know, but okay, I take that.
Yeah,
You're
I am lying. I'm professional.
you're lying. Okay. Um, my final question for you in the rapid fire round is, what was your feeling when you defended your PhD thesis?
Uh, I was sad because I finished this journey and I really want to study a lot and to continue my project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
See,
super sad.
see, you get better at lying with this game.
Yeah.
You do more and more questions, you get really better at lying with this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is it. I think the five questions, and you scored a good I would say 4.5 out of the five. So kudos to you.
Okay.
But all in all, thank you so much for sharing this journey. I'm sure a lot of people must have found what they're looking for, bits and pieces here and there from your journey. And
Yeah.
I mean, that is what our motive is, that we try and bring out different struggles, different patterns, different styles, different experiences on one platform. So thank you so much. I hope you had a good time on our show.
Thanks for the invitation and this opportunity. I'm really honored. I am really happy to join this show. And also, I just suggesting, I don't know, be patient during your PhD and don't give up. And whatever you fail or you don't want to do it because it happens, be
Yeah.
patient and don't stop anything. Go always go on.
Yeah, that's the way. Just go on, keep at it, and
Yeah.
success will come.
Yeah.
It's a slow process, but success will come. That's a
Yeah.
very good way to end the discussion today. So thank you once again, and I'm sure you are happy to address questions if and when our audiences want to, write to us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can share those questions with you.
Yeah.
So thank you once again, Selmihan, and I'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
You'll just have to put the end. Yeah. So that was Selmihan, and it's a very, very interesting journey that she shared. I'm sure some of you or most of you have got what you were looking for, bits and pieces, as I say. And we will continue to do this work. We really like bringing new people here who have gone through this amazing journey of PhD, and they are happy to share their experiences. So keep at it. Do share our page and do like our posts as well as our reels. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Till then, take care.